The hosts and guests on Everything's Messy podcast are not licensed healthcare professionals. The discussions in our episodes are not personalized medical advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare provider for medical guidance. Never delay seeking professional medical advice or emergency assistance because of our podcast. We encourage consulting with a healthcare professional before making any significant health changes. By listening to our podcast, you agree to the disclaimer. Thank you for listening to Everything's Messy podcast. Hey, welcome to Everything's Messy podcast, where we celebrate the beautiful but messy life experiences that most, if not all, people go through. Get ready to embark on an exciting journey through the raw and unfiltered stories of everyday people. Here, we dive into messy realities of life, from making messy mistakes to triumphs and everything in between. Are you sensing a theme? That's right, it's messy. But this just isn't about the mess. It's about finding strength and resilience in the midst of it all. We'll explore how health, fitness, and wellness play a crucial role in navigating life's twists and very messy turns. And we'll challenge conventional systems, because sometimes the most unconventional paths lead to the greatest discoveries. Join us as we embrace the messy, beautiful, and endlessly fascinating stories. Each episode is a testament to the power of our messy journeys and the beauty that emerges from the mess. So grab your favorite beverage, coffee, sparkling water, whatever it may be, and prepare to be inspired. Are you ready? Let's get messy. Hey everyone, welcome back to Everything's Messy podcast. I am your messy host, Sarah. So as all my guests are not a stranger to messy life stories, my guest today is Laura Bratton. Her message of grit and gratitude comes from being at the age of 9, where she was diagnosed with an eye disease, and she faced the unbelievably difficult reality that she would become blind. Author of Harnessing Courage and also founder of UB Global, we welcome Laura and her messy story today. Welcome, Laura.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm excited to be here.
You know, I say this a lot, and before I hit record, we kind of touched on it. You know, we have a lot of messy stories that come on the show, a lot of guests that have this message to come. But what struck me about your message, and two words I absolutely just fall in love with, grit and gratitude, which is just an amazing message. And I feel like, you know, a lot of us could probably use a stronger dose of that. And so as we jump off there, let's get messy with you and explain to us your messy story.
Yeah. So the whole messiness started at the age of 9. And at a routine doctor's appointment, a routine ophthalmologist appointment, they discovered that there was something going on with my retinas that wasn't right for a perfectly healthy 9-year-old with no other health concerns. It was not right. It wasn't corrected with glasses or contacts. So that led to a specialist, a pediatric retina specialist. That appointment was life-changing. At that appointment, that's where my family and I got the diagnosis of very extremely rare eye disease that to this day, 30 years later, still does not have an exact name or cause.
That's so interesting.
But it's a gene mutation. So basically, in the most simple form that I can explain, the cells of my retina started to deteriorate.
With no explanation.
No explanation.
No infection maybe that you had contracted, or environmental reasons, or hereditary, like no explanation.
We did the family tree on both sides as far back as we could possibly go. There was nothing. Since then, we've even done extensive genetic testing. Nothing has shown up.
That's incredible. And so here you are at 9, and, you know, I'm sure mostly, you know, typical 9-year-old life, right? Everything's going along. And then, so what's your first thought?
So the gift of being a 9-year-old is the messiness did not start for me then. Yes, I was in the doctor's office. I heard the news. My parents and I heard the news. We all were sitting there, and they could process it. And the messiness started for them at that appointment. But for me as a 9-year-old, all I could think and kind of emotionally process, I can see now. So I'm always going to see.
Right.
I couldn't emotionally process it. And my mom still reminds me of this. My exact reaction when we walked out of the doctor's office at Emory in Atlanta was, "Can we get a Starbucks now? I want to be cheap."
Yeah. Yeah.
And my parents, like, we were about to pass out. and you want to go to Starbucks.
Yeah. So this is, I want to back up a little bit just to make sure we have the timeline correct. This is the appointment that they tell you you
Yes.
will eventually become blind.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
We don't know what rate, but we know you might be 40, you might be 60, you might be 80. We don't have a clue what rate, but we know it'll happen.
Oh. And how long did it take?
Yeah. So the messiness for me started as a teenager. That's when I lost a significant amount of sight. And that's when my life became messy on so many levels because I had to instantly adjust and adapt
Mm.
to life without sight.
As a teenager.
As a
We all
teenager,
know
when
it's
life is
just the
already
worst
messy.
time that it could possibly. I mean, no time is great, but
Right.
especially as a teenager. And
Right.
so there was no, medication or surgeries or anything to overcorrect
No,
this, huh?
not at all. No,
Wow.
no. It's similar to macular degeneration, where you lose your central vision first and you have your peripheral, but it's not exactly like macular.
Mm.
So yeah, just extremely, extremely rare. So the messiness first started for me as a teenager, both being a teenager
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just that realization.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So what, we're talking 15, 16 years old around that time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
all your friends are talking about driving and like all of it.
Driving,
Yeah. So what?
getting their permit, and I'm learning Braille.
Oh my
And it was like,
goodness.
literally, I'm going to take my driver's permit, and I'm sitting in a room learning A, B, C, D in
Mm.
Braille.
Oh my
So yeah,
goodness.
that's where the grit comes in.
Yeah.
Because as all of this started, my messiness as I went through the grief process was deep anxiety, deep depression.
Mm, of course. Yeah.
And my mindset was, I can't, I can't, I can't, I can't. I just, again, as my teenager, as you mentioned, as my friends were learning how to drive and all this exciting independence, I was losing independence.
Mm.
So it wasn't my grit. It was the grit around me that helped me navigate through the messiness.
So a good support system?
100%.
Mm. Is that
And
mom and dad?
yes. So it was mom and dad, it was brother, it was teachers, it was friends, it was literally the whole community. And a perfect example of what I mean about that support, I was so overwhelmed with the fear of the future.
Mm.
And so my parents would tell me every single day, Laura, all we have to do is focus on today. We just need to get through today, and then we'll worry about tomorrow.
Gosh.
And at the time, I said, well, you're mean parents. Like, that doesn't plan out my future for me, right? Like, that doesn't help me.
Well, and naturally, I think all teenagers do worry about their future, regardless of what other circumstances they're
Yes.
facing. So, as you're sitting here knowing the future is already unknown,
Right.
maybe college plans, maybe not, obviously you're not going to drive. Like, and then parents are just like, well, just get through today. And you're like, okay, but what about the next day?
But what about the next day and the next day?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
It was not really until college and beyond that I realized the gift of what they taught me of
Mm.
actually they're right. I just need to take it moment by moment by moment. And it was also the grit of that support system. I have one older brother who's 5 years older. He still treated me like that annoying little sister that he's the one just to disappear. And again, at the time, just like my parents was like, you are the meanest brother in the world. Why
Right.
aren't you feeling sorry for me? Yet what I realized was him treating me normal was the greatest support I could have received.
I can imagine. You
Because
don't see it at the time.
right, you don't see it at the time because you're like, just feel sorry for me and coddle me and baby me. But what he was teaching me was, you're still you. You just can't see as well. I don't think less of you. I don't think you have less purpose. I don't think you matter less. You just can't see as well. So I was saying, I can't. Having those actions and that support around me, that was the gift that in that deep trauma and transition, they every day through their actions were saying, you can moment by moment by moment with accommodations.
Yeah. Almost like, "We got you. We're not gonna let you fall."
Right. 100%. That's literally what they were saying
Yeah.
without saying it.
Right. And but then sort of subtly or maybe not subtly saying the rest is up to you. So
Right.
what do you do with that?
Right. And again, at the time, I was like, you're me. You should just do it all for me. Right. But that was an empowerment because it made me say, okay, Laura, all right, self, what is my decision? What am I choosing? And because I had that support and that foundation of grit, that's when I was able to choose, okay, I want this grit for myself. I choose to get a guide dog between high school, those few months between high school and college, so that I can navigate the world safely. That was a huge decision of grit for me to say, I accept this new normal.
Wow.
I accept who I am. And so I choose to literally move forward with this guide dog. So you are 100% right. You said it perfectly. It was up to me to choose. And because I had that foundation, I could make that decision.
That's incredible. And just arriving at that acceptance moment, right? And it takes a lot
Yes.
it takes some of us a lot longer than others.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's hard not to have that sort of victim mentality depending on the circumstances and what you're going through. But when you
Absolutely.
can sit there and just accept it, right? Kind of this whole other world opens up.
It opens up because it's actually less anxious, less
Mm,
depressing.
mm,
And what you just said is what I experienced it. When I accepted who I now was and my new normal, the panic attacks were less.
wow.
The depression was less. It was like when I fought against it, that's what brought the anxiety and the panic.
Mm,
When I just accepted, I am who I am, I still matter, I am enough. The anxiety, it wasn't one magical moment where the anxiety
sure.
depression just
Sure.
vanished.
It's a work in progress, of
It's just
course.
every day, it just slowly decreased,
Yeah. Yeah.
and my confidence slowly increased every day.
Yeah. Well, and we talk about on this show too, you know, sometimes, and we don't encourage you to stay in that moment, but sometimes you have to sit in that messy moment to be
Yes.
able to compare and contrast when you can arrive at acceptance and you can arrive at moving one step forward. Because then, like you just described, you're able to feel the actual difference that you're making for yourself that nobody can
100%.
tell you about, that nobody
Uh,
can describe
yeah,
to you.
right. You have to live it, you have to embody it. And for me, it was when I did get in that victim mentality, truly my anxiety is worse. My depression, I felt my just the depression was worse.
Yeah.
And so once I started that acceptance process, it was just better.
Yeah. Yeah.
I literally could breathe easier.
Wow.
And I mean that like very literal. Like I didn't feel like I was short of breath. Like I couldn't get my breath. I could
Hmm.
breathe easy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it serves its purpose for a little while, and
Right.
then it no
Right.
longer serves you.
Right.
So finding
100%.
your way out of that
Yes.
darkness
Yes.
is, you know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
different for everybody, but to hear you come out with such, you know, hope of, okay, I decided to do this. Now I have this dog that we're going to become the best of friends. And now we have to navigate this world together. And so as you move to that first step, what else starts to open up? You had mentioned you went to college. That's pretty
Yeah,
huge.
and huge, and just that's why I do what I do today professionally. As I was going through college, I majored in psychology, and as I was going through my own personal healing process of adjusting and accepting while also studying psychology, that's what gave me the passion for, and that's where I developed the great gratitude was I realized healing and living in our messiness is not just psychological. It's not just physical. It's not just spiritual. It's the mind, body, spirit absolutely connected at all times.
The connection. You can't have one
Yeah.
without the other.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
That's incredible. And I also read, I think, not only that you graduated with a BA in psychology at Arizona, right? You also went on to Princeton.
Yes, and the gift, I would love to share about the messiness that came of that because it was such an incredible gift. As I applied and was accepted, the good news was I'm accepted. They told me, "You're accepted, and we've never had a blind student before in the Master of Divinity program. So you're gonna have to tell us what to do."
So you got to design your own needs, your own,
Well, and
ADA basically.
literally. And that was the gift because I was at a place emotionally that I was able to articulate and communicate what my needs were. And that was so empowering because out of that messiness gave me strength. It gave me confidence. It taught me how to advocate clearly in a way that that made sense, right?
Sure.
So, perfect example, what I mean by that is I could say, okay, I'm allowed double time on test.
Yeah.
Because it takes me double the time.
Yeah.
And I would literally sit down with professors and say, here's why it takes me double time. And, listening to my screener on the computer. And I vividly remember one conversation with a professor, and I was showing, this is the technology I have to use to adapt. So here's why I'm asking for this accommodation. I'm not asking for more time to look at my notes or whatever. I'm asking because it's physically impossible. And he's like, show me. I don't get what you mean. 5 minutes after having my screener rung, he's like, okay, we're done. You can have no time.
Well, it kind of amazes me if I stop right there and just think where you're having to prove to some professor.
I was. I absolutely was. And he was like, are you sure you're just not looking up your notes? And I was like, I am positive. If I looked up my notes, it would take me 10 hours.
Right.
But that's the gift of the grit. Again, take it moment by moment, day by day. And that's what I've learned throughout my life is yes, we will experience all types of messiness and we can keep going.
Yeah.
As we believe in ourselves, as we have that support system that we allow we trust them when we don't trust ourselves. That's the gift of the grit.
That's unbelievable. And then you sort of transition from grit and I would say that's almost enough, but then you take that and you're like, and now I'm gonna have gratitude for it and the situation. And it's like, whoa, hey, time out. Okay, we can see that you rolled up your sleeves and you did what you had to do. And most of us would be like, okay, I think that's enough for today.
Right. Stop in the story.
Right. But then you went a bit further and you said, and now I'm going to show gratitude. Explain what you mean by that.
So gratitude did not start by me waking up one day and saying, blindness is wonderful. I totally recommend it to the entire world. Everyone should try that.
That is a real moment. I'm so glad.
It's a great way to live in the world, right? That is absolutely not how gratitude started. It all started from one conversation with a mentor. As I'm in high school, a mentor said, Laura, I want you to start writing down 3 things, people, situations from each day that you're grateful for. And my immediate reaction, thankfully being Southern, I smiled and nodded and said, okay, thank you. I was thinking in my head, you are a terrible mentor.
You have no idea.
You have no clue, lady. In case you didn't know, I've been losing my sight. And I have nothing in this world to be grateful for. So, in my teenage stubbornness, I was determined to prove her wrong and be her mentor. So, the one day became 3 days, and the 3 days became a week, and a week became 3 weeks. And what I realized is she was not teaching me gratitude of be positive, happy,
Sure.
cheery, smile, be thankful for the blindness. The gratitude that she was teaching me was be grateful for what helps you navigate through difficulty, what helps you navigate through messy.
Mm, wow.
So she was not teaching me, Laura, I want you to wake up and be thankful that you're blind. She was teaching me, I want you to wake up, Laura, and say, I'm thankful for a guide dog.
Mm,
I'm thankful for parents that did not lower their expectations for me as I lost my sight.
wow.
Be thankful for that brother that still thought you were an annoying little sister that he wanted to get rid of. So again, the whole point of gratitude that I learned in the mindset that I use every single day is what helps us navigate through the messiness. Yes, we have to have that grit of acknowledging the messiness and choosing to still move forward. And then balanced with that, how can we be grateful?
Such incredible power in those words, honestly. And just to know, in your situation and other situations, like I said, grit is necessary. We
Yes.
have to have
Yeah.
that grit. And my goodness, if you don't have it, you're going to have to learn it really quick.
Right. Very fast.
To survive anything in this world, right?
Yes.
But then to be able to say, no, I didn't wake up in love and light, and I'm so grateful. I'm like none of that. But it was truly for the tools, for the resources, for you being able to find a way
Yes.
to be able to accept what had happened
Right.
and what you're going through. That kind of shifts all perspective on maybe people, rolling their eyes or, you have no idea what my situation
Right.
is. And you don't really even have to know their situation to know here are the steps. And there's so much power there.
There is, because it's deeply healing for us as individuals. It gives us the power when we go through adversity, difficult situations. We feel like we are absolutely powerless,
Mm-hmm.
and most of the time we are. We can't control
Yep.
the situations that happen. We can control our mindset.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can control our response. And so, for me, my lived experience and the people I've worked with, I found that gratitude, it builds our confidence because it changes our perspective from what's wrong, the adversity, to yes, I have this adversity. Let me acknowledge it. It's not denial, it's fully acknowledging the difficulty and acknowledging what helps us navigate through.
Yeah.
So we can do both at the same time.
Right, right. And so, okay, and we talk about this. We have the 3 M's on this show. It's mess, mindset, and then from mindset, we shift into momentum. So, what was the momentum that you gained? Obviously, being able to go to college and then Princeton and like all of these things that are happening. And so, what does it look like after college? And at this point, is it now like 100% you cannot see at that point?
Yeah, so definitely by that point, it was no usable vision, only limited light perception. So I can tell, when it's sunny or cloudy. So the momentum came 100% from the mindset.
Mm,
So in the messiness, as I learned the mindset of grit, taking it literally moment by moment by moment, it and that gratitude of being thankful for what I do have in the difficulty that we navigate, that perspective gave me momentum.
mm. Yeah.
And the other mindset perspective that gave me so much momentum and freeing and empowering was the gift of grieving. And as I say that, I even hesitate because it sounds like those words never ever should go together, right? Like never put in the same sentence. But again, it was a conversation with another mentor that taught me how it can be a gift to grieve.
Mm.
So I was just starting, it was about a week before I was starting college. And I was talking to a mentor, administrator at the university, and I don't remember the reason for the meeting, but at the end of the conversation, she just stopped me as I was getting up to leave and said, Laura, I want to let you know that you think you're done grieving. You grieve 4 years in high school. You think you're done, ready to move on, live the rest of your life. Now you can move forward. I just want to give you permission. And I want to tell you that you will continue to grieve throughout your life.
Mm.
And that doesn't mean you haven't accepted your blindness. That doesn't mean the grief will be as intense as it has been through high school. It doesn't mean you can't move forward. It means accepting that grieving is a part of your new normal. You will always feel the grief of not having the sight you once had. Yet you can still move forward and be resilient and do both at the same time.
Wow.
So I share that to say, she gave me momentum.
Yeah.
She gave me momentum to continue to grieve and move forward. Where my perspective, I thought I had to, there were each boxes. I had to grieve and I had to move forward. The
Sure.
boxes couldn't connect.
And then
So-
kind of lock them up and leave them
Right,
there.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I use the word gift. Grief is not a gift, but being able to continue to grieve is a gift.
Yeah.
Because I thought that was wrong. I thought something was wrong with me because I was still grieving.
No, and almost like she gave you permission, right?
That's
Some
the
of us,
word.
we need the permission to be like,
100%.
okay, I have to, I'm feeling this way. I can't
Mhm.
just lock it up in a box. And so almost the permission, and even there's kind of peace in that, right? So then you were able to be
Yes.
like, okay, I'm not, I do accept it, but
Yes.
yeah, that's
I can
incredible.
still have days where I'm sad, days where I'm anxious,
And it's
days where I'm
okay.
fearful, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yes, the gift of permission created that momentum to go forward. So that's the main reason, the only reason I created the organization that I did, where I work with people who are going through change, who are in that adversity, who are facing change, and working with them on how can they use these resources of grit and of gratitude to navigate forward.
Mm. And this is to anyone who's struggling, or is it
Yes.
specifically for people that have no sight, or is it?
Any type of change. Because what I found, I actually have very rare, maybe 1 or 2 times worked with someone losing sight.
Mm.
I've worked with anyone experiencing change, because what I've found is that change for each of us are completely different. The emotions are very similar. The anxiety, the depression, the fear, the question, am I enough? Do I matter anymore? Do I have purpose? All the questions are the same.
I think that is such a remarkable way to help people. And again, it goes back to the way that you were able to describe the grit and gratitude of your story to then bring it over and have momentum to help others. Because that's got to be challenging in and of itself, right? You have needs and things that need to be met in your daily life and what you're doing. And now we're going to push out and now we're going to serve someone else. That's a whole other
Yes.
category.
Yes. Yes. And the reason that I had that passion was because of the support that I received. I didn't just want to say, okay, I received it, end of story.
Yeah.
I wanted to say, I received it. Now let me go and be that support.
Mm.
So you're right. It's a whole different mindset, momentum to focus on that. Yet I knew I had to.
Yeah.
And I knew I had to, because I was so passionate and driven to pay it forward, to be that
Yeah.
support that I had received, so that I could be that support for someone else navigating change.
I love that. And that expression, pay it forward, I've always loved. And it can come in little things and it can come in
Yes.
huge things. And as
Yeah.
long as we're, proactively trying to do that in some small way or large way, I think that's what kind of keeps us going in this unknown world of what we
Yeah.
face,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
That's incredible. So, just 2 side notes, because I know if I'm curious, my listeners are probably curious. How long do you still have the dog? Where's the dog?
So I've had 2 guide dogs. I had my first guide dog for 11 years, and she was literally life changing. I mean, yes, She helped me navigate the world physically, but just her presence, just that unconditional love. She didn't care if I could see or not see, right? Like, she was just
Right.
happy I give her kibbles every morning and every night, right?
Yeah.
She was just happy that I give her Dial-A-Bones. So just that unconditional love, that connection I had with her was so healing and gave me so much strength. And then when she died, I got my second guide dog, who was also a female black lab, and I had her for about 11 or 12 years. And then she died like 9 or 10 months ago. So just a few months ago. So I haven't received another one since then. That I want a little time to go by.
Absolutely. Yeah, no,
'Cause
that's
that emotional, just the grieving, because it's such a connection.
yeah.
It's such a deep dependence. You're literally putting your life into this 60-pound black lab. All right.
Mhm.
So just that. And over 11 years, we just become one.
Sure.
Like and still, even 9 or 10 months later, I still feel like, oh, I'm missing something. Like, I'll even say that to people, like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm missing something. And they're like, Laura, you're fine. You know, Betty's not with you. So just that reminder, because truly, you just kind of become one unit. It's like your other
Limb or appendage or
Ye
something.
yeah, it is. So, both dogs were such an incredible gift.
They give us so much more, I feel, than we give them,
Yes.
right?
Oh my
And I
gosh,
mean,
they do.
just strictly speaking from a pet perspective, but as a service animal, I can't even imagine
Even more.
yeah, I can't even
Yeah, I
imagine.
mean, just that true dependence. I mean, I never tripped, I never stumbled.
Mm,
Literally, for what was that, 22, 23 years that
mm.
between the 2 dogs? I mean, that just yeah, truly the gift that they gave me. And we would even laugh when, when I was with friends or family. They're like, "Laura, you go first," because we know she'll pick the best way. So you go first.
Oh my
You
goodness.
you lead the way. She'll
She
she'll
was
pick the
serving
safest path.
everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
So
that.
yeah, she was just such. Both of them were such a gift and such a source of joy.
I love that. Such a testament. And then the other question would be, and where is brother? Is he still picking on you? Is he
Oh, but now we have a much better relationship. Now he can acknowledge, okay, you're not annoying anymore. So
I should
now it's
think
that
not.
fun, adult to adult relationship. Yeah,
And
it's super fun that we can connect
does he
professionally.
know how you feel about how he did like, have you ever been able to express to him that he
Yes.
yes?
And because he can say it was so hard.
Mm,
I wanted to just baby you,
mm.
but I knew that would not help you in the future. Yeah, we can laugh about that now, and now it's like, "Oh my gosh, you can help me with all the mindset, everything in business and life,"
Oh, I love it.
Like, yes,
Yeah.
I was like, "You're helping me with mindset now," and I used to make just be like, "You're annoying," and pick on you.
Now he
So
needs you.
yeah, exactly. So, yeah,
It's come full
it's fun.
circle.
It's fun that's come full circle, and yeah, that he can acknowledge we can both acknowledge that was really hard. I just wanted to, like, just tell you, "Yeah, I'll do your homework for you,"
Oh,
I wanted to make it easier, but I knew that would help you in the long run. I
yeah.
knew that would teach you that victim mentality.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah,
That's incredible.
and even now, going through the grief of obviously both guide dogs, but most recently, my last guide dog, he was that support of, "Yes, this is hard, and you will keep going."
Mm, yeah,
So allowing me to grieve while also saying, "Keep going."
it's okay. Yeah. Wow. And then a huge shout out, obviously, to mom and dad, right? They're sort of the
Oh,
pinnacle
yes.
of all of this and
Absolutely.
kept
Absolutely.
everybody going. And I just,
Absolutely.
I'm sure, have you had the same conversation with
Oh,
them? Like,
yeah.
I
It was
hated you then, but I'm so
yes.
thankful now.
I laugh all the time. I'm like, "Y'all know I thought you were mean, right?" They're like, "Yes, you tell us every day." But we laugh now because 'cause I'm like, "Thank you for being mean."
Right.
And thank you for just holding that standard.
Yeah,
'Cause it would be so much easier at the time to baby me,
sure,
to take away those chores,
sure.
and I still remind my mom all the time. I thought as a teenager it would be a brilliant idea to get out of all of my chores at home and use my blindness excuse. I thought that was a brilliant idea.
Why not? I mean,
Why
my
not? Right?
goodness.
So one night I said to her, "Oh, Mom, I cannot unload the dishwasher. I'm blind." And she said, she's a teacher. She's a retired elementary teacher. And in that teacher voice, she said, "Laura, unload the dishwasher." And then she just walked away.
It didn't go over well as you thought.
It did not. I was very confused. I was like, "Well, that didn't go as planned."
Oh, that's hysterical.
My dad sitting in the den hearing all this. He didn't get up and, say, "Oh, honey, you don't have to load the dishwasher." He just let it happen. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, you people are mean. I'm gonna leave this house." But what that taught me, and she doesn't remember that story. She doesn't remember saying it. She's like, "Oh gosh, I'm sure I said that a million times." What she taught me is, yes, you can unload the dishwasher.
Yeah.
The forks and knives and spoons might not be perfectly lined up, but that's not the point.
Yeah, they don't have to be.
They don't have to be. The point is you can do and be you just with accommodations made. So they were teaching me, you're still you. You still matter. You can still live in this world. So you can't use blindness as victim. You can't use blindness as an excuse. So yes, all the time, I thank you, thank you, thank you, because I know without a doubt I wouldn't be where I am today if they had treated me in a different way.
Yeah, even if they thought they were doing the right thing, it's almost like if they did it for you, they were telling you you couldn't do it.
Right.
By making you do it, they were telling you you can do it.
Right. Right. So I told them, "Okay, I was wrong. You're not me."
Oh, I love this so much. What an incredible, impactful story. So, now you go all over and you speak about your story and help others with this foundation that you've created. So, if people want to find you or work with you, where can they go?
So the best place is my website, laurabratton.com, has all the information about the speaking, the coaching, the book. It's all there.
That's wonderful. And how long has the book been out?
So I wrote it and published it in 2016. Well, I wrote it in 15,
Yeah.
but it was published in 16.
So, and my listeners know I love to ask this question to all my authors. What was the book writing process like for you? Did you love it or did you hate it?
Both. I loved it, and I'm glad you asked that because, again, this does go back to mindset and momentum. I loved it because it was healing.
Yeah.
It was deeply, deeply healing to write out the story, to get it on paper, to also reflect back, wow, I've had a lot of support. It was painful because my gift is not writing. And it was also painful to go back and bring up a lot of those memories.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yet it was so worth it. It was 100% worth it. Again, to get it out. And more so, it was worth it because of the feedback I've received. When I receive feedback like, yes, as I was dealing with my wife committing suicide, your book helped me navigate through. As I was dealing with my child being diagnosed with cancer, your book was a resource. Getting that feedback from so many different, a fourth grader who had major learning disabilities, yet picked up my book and would read 2 or 3 words a day. And then the next day would read maybe 3 or 4. And then the next day, 8 or 9. Wow. And then the next day, 3 sentences. So getting the feedback and knowing that's exactly why I wrote the book in the first place was for that purpose, to teach others the resource of the balance of grit and gratitude has been so empowering. So That's a long way to answer the question. I
No,
love
I
it.
love
And
yeah,
it was
no, I love
painful.
it. Did anything come out like, did you discover anything that was surprising as you were going through it? Maybe a memory that you didn't quite remember or something that you had forgotten and you were like, "Oh, yeah, this happened. I have to talk about it."
There was a lot.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stories, and just one story that I have to share that, I I was aware of, but wasn't consciously aware of. The year before I was diagnosed, my mom had a student, so she was an elementary teacher, and at the time, she was teaching 1st grade, and there was a student in her classroom who was visually impaired, more so than just, like, legally blind classes. And so she had a whole year with him in her class with accommodations. Obviously, he had like a teacher that would come in once a week, but that teacher constantly worked with my mom on here's how you can adapt. You need to sit at the front of the classroom, make as much things as you can tactile, that he can touch
Wow.
and feel. So she had a whole entire year with this student and this itinerant teacher coming in and working with her on literally a weekly basis.
Unbelievable. Wow.
A- And we obviously we all knew it. She taught him, but then to reflect back and think, oh my gosh, that was such a gift.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
year having that student, and then that same teacher became my teacher in middle school.
Wow.
And that was not because we didn't put that together because they'd been with my mom. That was not pre-planned. That was completely just who I was randomly assigned.
Wow.
There was about 6 teachers that traveled throughout the district, and so I was just randomly assigned Miss Martin, and Miss Martin was the same teacher that was with my mom that whole year. So, yes, thinking and remembering of stories and situations that happened, it was a gift to remember that, yes, it's been hard, yes, it's been messy, and the mindset was possible. The momentum was possible.
And such great support all around.
Yes.
Such an incredible story. Laura, thank you so much for taking the time to come on Everything's Messy. This has truly been inspiring and empowering, and I'm so grateful that you were able to share this story with our listeners and with myself. And just, I hope you continue to speak and write and do all of these things because more people definitely need to hear the message of grit and gratitude.
Well, thank you for creating the platform because life is extremely messy for all of us. We need the mindset and momentum. So thank you for the gift you created.
Thank you. Thanks for listening to Everything's Messy podcast. Whew, if you made it this far, give yourself a gold star or at least a nap. Honestly, if you showed up today and you were listening, you've already crushed it. I'm so grateful for you listening. If anything hit home, share it, tag me, write it on a sticky note. I don't care. Just don't keep all of this messy goodness to yourself. You can find me on Instagram at Everything's Messy Wellness or over at my website, everythingsmessywellness.com, where I've got resources, coaching, and probably a new rant about blood sugar or something that's just nonsense. It's all waiting for you. Check out my YouTube channel. I've got all of my podcast episodes up there. And I'm on X at Everything's Mess. Or if you just want to send me an email, Sarah at everythingsmessywellness.com. Look, until next time, hydrate, take no crap, and as always, keep it messy.